Hey, everybody, it's Will Stuyvesant, Regional Director with Consumer Energy Options. I just wanted to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be on our corporate call that we have every Tuesday. I know that we all get busy, and those that we see that end up on these Tuesday calls every single week are the ones that are consistently, typically either on the leaderboard, producing and getting checks, getting accounts, and bringing new people into CEO. As we were just talking before I started the announcements about how, we're obviously in winter, and right now is a great time to be selling natural gas accounts because we typically have bigger winter checks. And now that we have our new portals through our back office with Direct Energy and a couple others, we can receive natural gas and electricity incomes in lump sum payments. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes total submission time. And I can tell you between myself personally and people on my team that there were accounts that were submitted in December and now are reflected on January's checks. So for those of you that are looking to getting paid on accounts fast, I would highly recommend that you use the Direct Energy portals in the states that apply. One of the things that I think about every single day, and I just get more excited every time I think about, is why would somebody choose CEO? And the first thing that always comes to my mind is there's absolutely no investment to get involved. We offer a residual income that comes from services that are unconsciously purchased, which essentially makes us recession-proof. We help people who are unnecessarily paying too much for their utility costs. And one of the greatest things I love about our company is we have absolutely no cap on our income or promotions. We have no boss. If you meet our promotional guidelines, you get promoted, period. No cap on income. Pretty exciting. We get paid 29 different ways, 4 different ways in personal production, 4 different ways in direct management compensation, and an additional 21 different ways with our new promotional guidelines. I have a financial planning background, and one of the things I like to compare our business model to is that, if somebody wanted to make an extra $500 a month without working for it, what would they have to do? Well, most people would have to invest it. Well, in order to get an extra $500 a month, you'd have to have $50,000 invested, whether it be real estate or the stock market. Some of you that might be on the call might have experience with either one, but it's approximately going to be about $50,000 lump sum invested. And as you guys and I know, there probably aren't very many people that just have $50,000 laying around that they could live off right now. They got to allow that nest egg to grow. In addition to that, if you're brand new to our company, there's a few things that you can do to get started. One is input your own bill into the back office and gather a few new bills. We have this 5 for 50 program, and basically what it is you get yourself signed up and 4 of your closest friends, family members, or people that you know, so you can get some experience with how our CEO system works. It's very important that you start off with getting very simple stuff. That way you can get the experience and kind of see what it takes to get an account and how to input an account. In addition to that, we have in our back office, if you look right above the leaderboard, there's this blue button that's called Basic Training. If you click on that, there's a 26-page PowerPoint presentation. It should take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes to go through. That just gives you a very broad overview of what we do, maybe some things to say, or what you could kind of potentially expect. But I can honestly say this, the best training that you possibly can get if you're looking to get involved right now is to meet with your senior consultant or regional director and your manager and figure out a game plan for success. And one of the best way to come up with a game plan is literally coming up with a list of people you know, calling them and collecting bills. And whoever your senior consultant or regional director or even national director is, they have the ability to go in there and help you learn and understand why of what you need to say or not to say when you ask people for bills. It's not very complicated. We've got a very simple system as far as helping you with that. In addition to that, one thing we like to cover every week is our leaderboard. And this is actually kind of pretty exciting for me, and I'll talk about this later. But on our natural gas leaderboard, number 10, we have Doug Brown. Number 9, John Graft. Number 8, Matt Abraham. Number 7, John Bernard. Number 6, Will Stiverson. Number 5, Mark Milstein. Number 4, Bob Zabik. Number 3, Lisa Cornell. Number 2, Jane Zerfelt. Number 1, Libby Elliott. Congratulations to all of you that have gotten on the natural gas leaderboard. On our electricity leaderboard, we have number 10, Chet Tay Cohen. Number 9, Malcolm O'Brien. Number 8, Stephen B. Number 7, John S. Number 6, Annie Serpa. Number 5, Nathan Matlich. Number 4, Mark Milstein. Number 3, Bob Zabik. Number 2, Libby Elliott. Number 1, Ken Anno. Congratulations to all that have made it on the electricity leaderboard. Developing product and service that we've been getting involved with and working things out with is telecom, and right now we have number 1, Bob Zabik, with 2 accounts. Congratulations to you, Bob Zabik. And then on our team additions, we have tied for number 5, Ebony Thomas, Will Stiverson, and Michael Northern. Number 4, we have Veronica Davis. Number 3, we have Chosen Few Marketing, LLC. Number 2, we have Lisa Cornell. And number 1, we have Bobby Hill. So congratulations to all of you that have made the leaderboard. Obviously, checks follow those that have put the numbers on the board, so congratulations to all of you. And if you're not on there, all it takes is consistent effort, guys, for you to get some accounts submitted in, get a few people involved, show them how they can go out and make some extra money in a recession-proof business. So without further ado, it's 1 o'clock. We're going to get started with the topic. And one of the things that I've really reflected on over this past year is where we've been and where we're going. And I can say this past year of 2015 was kind of a pilot year with a lot of changes, new compensation plans, added product and service lines, different ways that we have with our processes. And in going through all of those processes, it really has established a foundation that we have a launching pad in 2016 to really go out there and get after it. And one of the topics, I remember reading this last year, and I think it was around this time that I read it. It was an excerpt out of a book called The Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. I don't know if any of you have read this book, but I love this story, and this really explains our business really well. I'm going to read it to you guys. It says, once upon a time, there was a quaint little village. It was a great place to live except for one problem. The village had no water unless it rained. To solve this problem once and for all, the village elders decided to put out to bid the contract to have water delivered to the village on a daily basis. 2 people volunteered to take on the task, and the elders awarded the contract to both of them. They felt that a little competition would help keep prices low and ensure a backup supply of water. The first of the 2 people who won the contract, Ed, immediately ran out, bought 2 galvanized steel buckets, and began running back and forth along the trail to the lake, which was a mile away. He immediately began making money as he labored morning to dusk, hauling water from lake with his 2 buckets. He would empty them into the large concrete holding tank the village had built. Each morning he had to get up before the rest of the village awoke to make sure there was enough water for the village when it wanted it. It was hard work, but he was very happy to be making money and for having one of the 2 exclusive contracts for this business. The second winning contractor, Bill, disappeared for a while. He was not seen for months, which made Ed very happy since he had no competition. Ed was making all the money. Instead of buying 2 buckets to compete with Ed, Bill had written a business plan, created a corporation, found 4 investors, employed a president to do the work, and returned 6 months later with a construction crew. Within a year, his team had built a large volume stainless steel pipeline which connected the village to the lake. At the grand opening celebration, Bill announced that his water was cleaner than Ed's water. Bill knew that there had been complaints about dirt in Ed's water. Bill also announced that he could supply the village with water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Ed could only deliver water on the weekdays. He did not work on weekends. Then Bill announced that he could charge 75% less than Ed did for this higher quality and more reliable source of water. The village cheered and ran immediately for the faucet at the end of Bill's pipeline. In order to compete, Ed immediately lowered his rates by 75%, bought 2 more buckets, added covers to his buckets, and began hauling 4 buckets each trip. In order to provide better service, he hired his 2 sons to give him a hand for the night shift and on weekends. When his boys went off to college, he said to them, "Hurry back because someday this business will belong to you." For some reason, after college, his 2 cents never returned. Eventually, Ed had employees and union problems. The union was demanding higher wages, better benefits, and wanted its members to only haul 1 bucket at a time. Bill, on the other hand, realized that if this village needed water, then other villages must need water too. He rewrote his business plan and went off to sell his high-speed, high-volume, low-cost, and clean water delivery system to villages throughout the world. He only makes a penny per bucket of water delivered, but he delivers billions of buckets of water every day. Regardless if he works or not, billions of people consume billions of buckets of water, and all that money pours into his bank account. Bill had developed a pipeline to deliver money to himself as well as water to the villages. Bill lived happily ever after, and Ed worked hard for the rest of his life and had financial problems forever after. The end. That story about Bill and Ed has guided me for years. It has assisted me in my life's decision-making process. I often ask myself, am I building a pipeline or hauling buckets? Now, for those of you that are on this call, the basis of the book is this. I'll give you the Cliff Notes. I'd still recommend reading it. There's 4 ways to make money in this country. You either can be an employee, and if you're an employee, the great thing about it is you think you have financial security and a paycheck coming in every single month, but the bad thing about it is that when you're an employee, you're paid for the position and not you, the person, which means, and I'm sure all of you on the call have been in some type of job or work where you might have outworked somebody else, but you only made the same amount of money as the person working next to you. Now, that's because when you're an employee, you're paid for the position. The other way that you can get paid is you can be self-employed. And by being self-employed, you could be in sales, you could be in real estate, insurance, you could be a doctor, attorney. You can go out there and make money, but there's only 24 hours in a day in which you work, and when you stop working, your income stops. So self-employed, you have a little bit more freedom with time, but you also are in a position that if you stop working, your income immediately stops. Same thing with an employee, but you have a little bit more freedom with self-employed. The other way is by building a business, and what I mean by a business and what the book means by a business is a business that you literally could walk away for a month, 2, 3 months, or a period of time, and your business no longer needs you to be there for it to operate. This book recommends that you have 500 people or more involved, and that's a true business in which you can walk away from. And the 4th way is being an investor, and typically when you're an investor, that means that you have so much money either saved or invested that it covers your monthly costs every single month, whether you work or not. So the goal of the book really is how do you get from the left side of the quadrant, the employee, self-employed side, to the business owner, investor side, okay? Now, if you were to apply that to CEO, it's real simple, frankly. If you are a personal producer and CEO, it doesn't matter what title you have in the company, whether you're a senior consultant, regional or national. If you are a personal producer only and not looking to build a team, you are never going to be greater than an S, because there's only so many hours in the day that you can go out and get personal accounts. Now, you have that choice. In fact, you have the choice between all 4 of those quadrants in your life and with CEO, frankly. If you want to be a business owner, then you're going to want to go develop a team. And if you're going to go develop a team and build a business in the way that Robert Kiyosaki was talking about, you cannot do it unless you become a senior consultant. At a senior consultant, that's where you have the ability to override efforts of others unlimited levels deep. Is there an issue overriding the efforts of others? No. And here's the reason why. The only way you can become successful in this company, if you're building a team, is by building relationships and building agents. And I need to emphasize this first. Building relationships first is the key thing. And I want to say this, the reason why I wanted to go over this book again, and as far as the investing side, that means that we need to make so much money with CEO that we can invest and get financially independent. But I wanted to focus a little bit on, this B quadrant side that they're talking about. You don't have to be at 500 people overnight. You can build this over time. There's no time frame as far as where you need to be. But one of the examples that I always go back to and think about all the time with CEO is this. If you were a senior consultant that had a team of 25 agents, that not in your personal production or even your direct line people, but 25 agents in your senior code that were doing meager, consistent monthly production in gas, electricity, and telecom, you're going to make anywhere from $6,000 to $18,000 a year. If you're a regional director with 100 agents doing the same meager monthly production of gas, electricity, and telecom every month, you're going to make anywhere from $48,000 to $144,000 a year. And if you are a national director with 500 agents doing the same thing, you're going to make anywhere doing the same meager monthly result or production that I was telling you about. You're going to make anywhere from $360,000 to $980,000 a year. Does it really matter how long it takes if you can make it? You have an opportunity to make $1 million a year. Then the question is, how fast do you want to get there? Well, you got to go out and build a team. You got to go out and promote the 5 for 50s. You got to go out there personally, go out and get 5 for 50s, train people how to get 5 for 50s, train people on how to get to senior consultant. You need to be on these calls every Tuesday. And I can tell you this 1 year later, and I apologize, and I'm going to use the company platform to brag about this, but right now, me and my team on the natural gas board have 7 of the 10 natural gas spots. We have 4 or 5 of the electricity spots, the only one in telecom, and 4 of the 6 or 7 on the team additions on the leaderboard. And the only reason that has happened, is that I have an amazing team that are consistent. We have awesome relationships and camaraderie with each other. We get together on the phone and discussion calls. We talk all the time. I have agents that meet outside of me, building relationships, and it's really an amazing thing. And now I have 7 of the spots on the natural gas side, but I am underneath John Bernard, who's also on that leaderboard, which means he is overriding 7 of those spots on the natural gas board. And the top 3, Libby Elliott, Lisa Cornell, and Jane Therfelt, this past week have been fighting for that number 1 spot. Last week, Lisa Cornell was number 1. A few hours later, Jane Therfelt knocked her off, and as of last night, Libby Elliott knocked Jane down. So how amazing could it be for you guys to go out and build a team, build an organization, and get there where that leaderboard, those top spots, whether it's gas, electricity, team additions, telecom, all these great, wonderful things, how amazing would it be for you to go out and do that? And frankly, guys, my sales organization really is 1 year old. It's 1 year old. Yeah, I mean, I did not have all of those spots last year at this time. And all I can say is the only thing that I can say that I have done is that I understand that I am absolutely nothing without my team. You would not believe the great integrity and character, especially, I mean, just all of the people in my group. I mean, we have so much fun together. It's amazing. This is not an all CEO business, let's get bills and everything else. I've got to hear about all of my agents' families, and it's just really been, we have been very good at creating a culture of a family. And like I said, our team is really rocking it out. I want to pat on the back everybody that's on that leaderboard and also those that are striving to get there, because I can tell you what, guys, it's an amazing feeling. It's not even about the money. It's about seeing people you care about win. That's what it comes down to. Art Williams used to say, I'm going to read an excerpt out of another great book he wrote called Pushing Up People. He said, I believe you can beat 50% of the people out there by just working hard. Most people won't work hard enough or long enough to win, so you've got half the folks licked if you can just keep working. You beat another 40% by living right, finding something you believe in, and having decent morals and principles. So if you just work hard and live right, you can be in the top 10%. In the free enterprise system, the top 10% is a dogfight, plain and simple, and you've got to fight it out the rest of the way. In my experience, the people who win big are the people who are willing to pay the price for success. Nothing good comes easy. In the free enterprise system, you've got to work for it. Vince Lombardi, one of the most famous football coaches of all time, said, "The dictionary is the only place that success comes before work. Hard work is the price we must pay for success." I think you can accomplish almost anything if you're willing to pay the price. Now, guys, I'm going to just single out a few people. We've got Doug Brown, that's number 10, Matt Abraham, number 8, myself at number 6, Bob Zabik, number 4, Lisa Cornell, number 3, number 2, Jane Therfelt, and number 1, Libby Elliott. Those 7 are on my team that we talk about all the time, constantly building relationships. On the electricity side, we've got Malcolm O'Brien, number 9, Annie Serpa at number 6, Bob Zabik at number 3, and Libby Elliott at number 2. We've got Bob Zabik that's leading in telecom. And as far as team additions, we've got Ebony Thomas, myself, Michael Northern, Lisa Cornell, and Bobby Hill that are in our team that are out there going out and make it happen. I am not in any way trying to use this platform to brag about what we're doing. However, although I think we've earned some bragging rights here, I do think that anybody on this call can go out and do exactly what we've done if you make the choice. It's real simple. You got to go out there. You got to get experience. You got to make a list of people you know. You actually have to call them. Then you actually have to ask them for copies of the bills. Once you get the bills, you got to call them back and let them know what you can do. That's what it takes in CEO. If you want to go out and recruit people, you got to go out and build relationships. You got to show them how to get bills. You got to show them how to build a team. You got to believe in them. You got to give them your heart. You got to give them everything. This is not a professional company, in my personal opinion, if you're going to win right. The way that we've won and the reason why I personally feel that we have the names and the type of talent on these boards right now is the fact that we all have relationships with each other. It has nothing to do with energy rates, contracts, industry statistics, and all of that other stuff. These people just want to go out there and win. They want to go out and make it for their families. They want to go out and figure out a way to potentially make an extra part-time income or go out and make a transitional income so they can get out of their jobs. And it's all done building relationships. I've taken almost 20 minutes of time. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything that you would like to say or add, I'm going to leave it open. I will let you know I'll be getting in my car at 1:20, so if you hear my car start up, I apologize. But if you guys have any questions or comments or anything you'd like to add, go ahead and *6 and mute yourself, and I'll be willing to answer any questions that you have.
Hey, Will. Nathan here.
Hey, Nathan.
You know, if you could boil down the success that your team is having to, you know, maybe 1 or 2 action steps that they're taking on a regular basis, what would those be that ultimately lead to their success?
They don't hesitate to call me when they need something, and I don't hesitate to call them at least every other day. So we are constantly talking, and I can say that most of our conversations, and these aren't emails or text messages, I'm hearing their voice. Most of our conversations, I would say on the phone, are probably 15 or 10% CEO, and the rest is relationship building. The other 2 is they're consistent. They make phone calls, and then they follow up within a few days or a week. They don't just work hard, make a whole bunch of phone calls 1 week, take a break with their life for 2 or 3 weeks, and then try to get back after it. They are consistently every single week staying on it. Do they have success every single week? No. But because they build a pipeline for themselves as far as their accounts or even bringing new agents in, that's what's happening. But I can say this. I would attribute any of the success our team has had on the relationships that we've built, the third thing, too, which I haven't really publicly announced, but every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock, we have discussion phone calls that are totally different than how we have these corporate calls. It is a pretty much open forum. A lot of it, I will say probably 50% of it, is us building relationships with each other, and the other 50% is probably actually CEO stuff. We have a sense of camaraderie, family, unity of purpose that that I just feel very blessed. I can't say enough that it's actually pretty emotional for me going from where we were a year ago to where we are right now and the huge things that are happening. It's all relationships, and I would do anything for my team. They know they can call me at any time of day. They know they can email me. They know that I'll get back with them within an hour or two. They know that I'm crazy enough that I don't shut CEO off, ever. So,
and Will, just to kind of repeat what you said and build on it a little bit, everything that you said, all that comes down to is consistency, hard work, and trying to build relationships. And if you look at that, you said nothing about, where you live, whether you were born into an extremely wealthy, family or poverty. You didn't talk about what kind of, great business connections that, your teammates have. And so what I heard is I basically heard that no matter who you are or where you live, that if you put in the hard work, you stay consistent, you focus on great communication with your leadership, and you just get out there and you are constantly engaging in activity to grow your business, that your agents are finding success. And, I think that a lot of people have a limiting belief that, the only way I can be good in this business is if, I was born into a wealthy family, if I already have all these connections and, yada, yada, yada. But the actuality, it's, hard work, consistency, getting out there, picking up the phone, calling your leader, all of those things that anyone can do on a regular basis. So I just thought that was some great insights there.
Well, no, I want to clarify everything. 90% of it's relationships. The consistency and hard work is about 10% of it. I can't tell you how many agents that I have that have grown quite a bit. I mean, Lisa Cornell is my most consistent agent that I have on our team. And the growth that she's had in the past year, she's never hesitated to call me. She's had a tremendous amount of personal growth. I've been there for her when she's hurting, when she's upset, when somebody's rejected her, when somebody hasn't said something that isn't the right way or whatever. And this really isn't about me. I really want to be very clear about this. This is about serving your people with absolutely no limitations. This does mean that certain things do pay a price. I mean, I'm a single dad, by the way. On a personal note, I'm a single dad with my son, and I have to block time. I have to block time for dinner and doing his homework. I have to block time to be able to be available for my agents. I do a lot of work after 9 o'clock at night and sometimes work until midnight. You just have to block time. But I can tell you the time that I have with my son is quality time, and kids understand that. So I'll just say that there are some personal sacrifices that I make to do this. But what I'm looking to build is an empire or a lifestyle that I want to be able to live like I'm on vacation every day. And the only way I can do that is building relationships with the great people that are on our team and that are continuing to join our team, and helping them get everything they want out of CEO. And some of them might want to make $200 a month. That's fine. Some of them might hate their job and want to get out of it and replace it. That's fine. But the bottom line is that there's only so many hours in the day that I have. And I could go out and personally produce. I've got huge lists of contacts of people that I've called or chased, and for a year and a half, and I'm talking deals that could probably pay me $100 to $200 a year if I ever land them. And I do have a shot. It's just you got to stay at it. But none of that really matters. More where the true financial security comes in is you invest in people. You invest in building the relationships with them. You invest in building them. And I just, like I said, I'm absolutely nothing without my team in this company. And I can't thank them enough. I feel so blessed that they think I'm their leader or whatever. And really, I just am out there to serve. So sorry to clarify or get on another diatribe, Nathan. Is there it's 1:25, guys. Is there any other questions, concerns, statements? And I appreciate your comments, Nathan. Thank you. If there isn't any, I do want to say this real quick. Libby Elliott and I went on an appointment yesterday with one of her clients. She renewed an account that was 46,000 MCF, which is a pretty big account. And we also got them set up with their electricity, and we also got an audit signed. And that the whole conversation about energy on an appointment that we went on, that we literally probably drove 35 minutes to 40 minutes to get there. We waited for 10 minutes, talked about CEO for 5, got everything approved, taken care of as far as the paperwork, and spent another 20 minutes talking about something that has nothing to do with CEO. And it all comes down to relationships. And if you're somebody that's shy, if you're somebody that feels uncomfortable talking with people, you know, Nathan does an excellent job talking about all of these different self-development books that he's reading. I do the same thing. I think Pushing Up People should be like a mandatory book for success. I mean, it's just absolutely, if I were you, I would go out today, get on Amazon.com, and get the book Pushing Up People by Art Williams. What an amazing story, book. So many different guidelines and principles on how to just treat people good, make them feel special, and it's amazing. So just wanted to let you guys know that. So any other comments? Well, with that being said, guys, thank all of you. I really appreciate all of your time. You know, you beat 50% of the people just by showing up, guys. If you're consistent on these calls, you know, something's going to happen. I recommend, go out and get a few bills. Just literally write down somebody you're going to call, make 5 phone calls. You'll probably get one, probably be able to get another new account. Those direct energy portals are paying out really fast. I'd highly recommend that. So just congratulations to all of you, again, that were on the leaderboard, especially those that, on a personal note to my team, you guys are doing an awesome job. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to wrap up the call, and you guys all have a good one. Talk to you soon. See you at the top. Bye now.